Hey, welcome back. I hope you are absorbing a lot of great material in the videos as you move through them. This video is called Always Be Prepared for Class. We definitely want to hit the basics and also hit some of the more subtle nuances, and this is obviously one of the basics. Now, what's meant by the title of this video is that when experienced teachers arrive in class, they have all the materials, all the supplies, all the copies, and all the equipment necessary for the plans of the day to function successfully. This may seem overly simplistic, but it's amazing how many teachers still haven't mastered this fundamental idea. But after you've run out of copies once or twice, you will always bring extra copies from that day forward. And after your dry erase marker goes dry mid-lesson just once, you'll always bring at least 2 to class each day. I was sitting in the front row of an international anthropology conference watching a world-renowned professor present her research at the whiteboard. And within moments of beginning her presentation, the dry erase marker that she was using dried up. She became frazzled and didn't know what to do. And completely inexplicably, the organizers of the event had not supplied extra pens. So it was just this quiet tension and nothing was happening. But being a lifelong teacher who was always prepared, and I was sitting right in the front row, I had 3 fresh dry erase markers in my book bag, and I simply handed her one, and then it allowed the whole event to continue. And she came up to me afterwards and thanked me profusely. But it was just a very simple habit of mine. So experienced teachers always have the supplies that they need because they know how difficult life gets when something is missing. In other words, they've run out of or forgotten supplies enough times in the past, so they always make extra sure not to ever let that happen again. So it definitely is a source in pain, past pain. So copies are made ahead of time. Textbooks are ordered ahead of time. Equipment has been tested ahead of time. And one thing that good teachers understand is that for a project to come together involving 30 or 40 students, let's say a full classroom, someone has to be in charge and organized and have a clearly articulated vision. And that person is you. You are the teacher. It has to be you. So however prepared, organized, and thorough you are as a teacher, the execution will usually be degraded to some degree by those who don't show up, those who don't follow directions, or equipment that might not function correctly. So your plan has to be as good as possible from the beginning. And here's a key tip. And this is really effective, and it's very simple. Set aside 2 or 3 hours of time on the same day each week, whenever it is, Sunday night, Tuesday afternoon, whenever you want to do it, and devote it entirely to preparing supplies, not preparing your lessons, but just preparing supplies for the coming week. Make copies, collect any kind of machinery or digital equipment. Even if you have no planning or prep to do, just work ahead during this allotted time. And if, of course, if you have all your supplies, you can plan during that time. But just setting that time aside, rather than only sort of scrambling to do it right beforehand, is really golden. And we always tell our students to plan ahead, to start their essays early, begin studying for the exam ahead of time. So we have to do the same. And this is especially important for beginning teachers. If those copies or crayons or Bunsen burners aren't ready to go, then the lesson won't work and there will be chaos. And after that has happened a few times, you will definitely prepare early from that point on. Okay, that brings us to the end of this video. Thank you for joining me.